Somebody stole my $500 360-degree camera, and this is how it went. And I know exactly who did it. It was me and my forgetful brain.
I am so upset. I can't even think straight. I was up and down all last night. I'm so stressed because I'm literally in the Animal Kingdom parking lot, walking into the park because I forgot and I lost my 360 camera last night. I'm not even gonna post this unless I actually find the camera because I'm so embarrassed because all the footage from the Las Vegas trip is on that camera. And if I can't find it, I'm toast. I can't get that back. And the camera, of course, is expensive itself, but you know, you can't get those memories back that were recorded. I went over the weekend on Saturday. I was pushing Joy around in a wheelchair because she's 9 months pregnant now with our baby. And so I was pushing her around, trying to get out of the house, have a good day, lift our spirits. And I forgot it in the cup holder in the back of the wheelchair as I pushed her into the car and, you know, we drove off at the end of the night. So I'm just hoping I can get it back, man. Here's fingers crossed. Say a little blessing, call out to the universe for me, but we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated. I can literally breathe again. They said that they found it, and I can't believe it because, oh my gosh, I was losing my mind. And I'll tell you about that in a little monologue about dreams here in a minute because I was up all night. I was having dreams about it, stress dreams, even waking up without even realizing it. And I'll go into all those details because I think they're super important. This is a great case study, but I'm sitting here with my cup of coffee. They have found it, confirmed. I have confirmation numbers. But they take it to their warehouse. So I had to go all the way to Disney Springs. And then go tell them that I'm here at Lost and Found. And then I gotta go pick it up from the warehouse to bring it back over here. So I got about another 20-minute wait before it comes over here. And then I should be able to pick it up and go home. So we're almost there. We're almost there, fam. I appreciate you being with me on this journey. Fancy transition. Also a great time to say like and subscribe to the video if you want to see more content about dreams and what they mean. And a huge shout out and thank you to all the support on my Discord server. They were with me through the whole weekend and supporting and encouraging me, telling me not to beat myself up too bad about it. If you'd like to join our Discord community and the wonderful people there, link in the description as always. But here is the rest of the story and why you should pay attention to your dreams and the stress and anxiety that sometimes can disrupt them. I didn't realize until I got home and the park was already closed at that time, and so you couldn't re-enter and get back in. I was devastated. In fact, the rest of the weekend, because that happened on a Saturday night, the rest of Sunday and then Monday night was just miserable. In fact, my wife told me that she recognized I woke up in the middle of the night to check my phone to see if I had received an email from Disney because, by the way, we'll get into a little bit of the Disney Lost and Found situation because they actually perform incredibly and I'm super impressed. But when you lose something at Disney, you fill out an online form, you put in your email address, they email that they confirmed they received your submission, and then they say, hey, within 48 hours, we'll email you to let you know that we found your item. The first night, they emailed me at 3 a.m. saying, we haven't received or located your item yet, but don't worry, we're still looking. So my brain kind of kept this little bit of information in the backlog and said, hey, 3 a.m. is probably when the park's finished closing. They probably finished cleaning up all the stuff and they're resetting for the next day. So they'll probably send you another email at 3 a.m. So my brain woke me up at 3 a.m. just enough for me to check my phone, see if I had received an email from Disney locating my camera, and then went back to bed. I don't remember this at all. And perhaps you've had a similar experience. And that's what I want to talk about on today's little vlog episode, why that is and what it happens. Because your unconscious mind is way more powerful than I think we really give it credit for. It can hold on to information for much longer and much more intentionally than we ever think is possible. This is actually why most people
some people, are able to use their dreams to predict the future. They can tell what the gender of a baby is. They can tell if earthquakes are going to happen. They can tell if somebody's going to break up or if somebody has a sickness that's undiagnosed, because the mind is picking up on all these very small, subtle cues that you're not consciously aware of at all, putting that information together and then predicting and giving you a path of action to kind of accomplish the tasks that you want to accomplish. For me, that was checking my phone at 3 a.m. to see if they had located my camera. So, why does this happen to you? Well, there's a couple things that we need to really hit on. First is, I'm looking at my notes, anxiety. Anxiety and stress is such a huge problem when it comes to sleep because there are some very specific cycles of sleep that you need to go through. 5 to be exact. There's 1 REM cycle where your eyes are moving underneath your eyelids, and then 4 NREM stages. Now, stress and anxiety disrupts that natural cycle of sleep that you need to be fully restorative and to wake up refreshed for the next day. And if you're like me, you probably are not waking up refreshed. You're probably waking up tired and drag your lazy ass out of bed, drink a cup of coffee, maybe pound an energy drink or a 5-hour energy, and just try and make it through. Raw dog in life, you know? Because stress and anxiety, unmanaged stress and anxiety disrupts those cycles. Now, the reason it does this, and what it's actually doing, is it's not allowing you to get deeply into sleep. When you get really deep into sleep, those later stages of NREM sleep, it's really where your mind gets restored. Coincidentally, this is also one of the things that is most attacked in Alzheimer's as well. And that's why you see people with Alzheimer's actually sleeping a lot, because they're trying to get that deeper sleep. They're trying to get that restorative sleep, but their mind, because of the sickness, is not allowing them to do that. Stress and anxiety will do the same thing, and coincidentally will lead to some very significant health problems down the way. Now, why does it do this? Well, think about it. Our animal brains, if you're in a dangerous situation, you don't want to be sleeping like the dead. You want to be able to get up and move quickly about and move to the next thing so you can protect yourself or defend yourself against whatever may be attacking you in the middle of the night. This is actually what also happens in hotel rooms. There's actually something very interesting that happens in hotel rooms, and this is why a lot of people will sleepwalk in hotels or report poor sleep in hotels. Because the brain actually has this ability to sleep more deeply with one half than with the other half. So when you go into a hotel room, your body knows and your unconscious mind knows, hey, this is unfamiliar, we're stressed about the meeting coming up or whatever's going on. We need to stay hypervigilant and aware because this is not a necessarily safe environment. Now, for some people, they do actually feel more safe in hotel rooms than they do at home, so they might even sleep better. But the majority of the people, when they research this, don't sleep as well in hotel rooms. What actually happens is one half of the brain sleeps more deeply and the other half actually stays hypervigilant. You can see a very extreme example of this in birds, who when they are on their migratory patterns are actually able to fly for days at a time because they sleep with one half of their brain and then change and sleep with the other half of their brain. That way they're able to sleep while continuing to fly because one half is piloting the bird per se and the other half is actually sleeping deeply. This is what happens to us. And so in a much lesser sense, we don't totally fall asleep with one half of our brain. One half stays a little bit more awake than the other. So this happens and we stay hypervigilant and we can wake up. Now, the reason that I don't remember why this happened, and the reason that my wife does, is because I was bumping around and making noise, but I don't remember that it happened because my conscious brain has not turned on yet. So in those moments when somebody's sleepwalking, when somebody's talking in their sleep, when somebody's bumping around and doing things in their sleep, even if they're kind of like doing things that they would normally do while they're awake, it's not like crazy sleepwalk talk or anything like that. The reason they can't remember that is because my frontal cortex is actually not turned on. This is the part of the brain that largely turns off while we sleep. And so when I'm doing that in the middle of the night, I'm operating completely autonomously from those parts of my brain that function independently of my thinking part. And so I'm not able to actually say, oh, I did this thing last night, consciously say that, and then consciously move that experience into the memory centers in the hippocampus. So it's crazy. You can operate out of this part of the brain, do something without your frontal cortex turning on, and therefore this part of the brain can't say we should remember this. If this part of the brain doesn't say, hey, this is something we need to remember, it doesn't get encoded in the hippocampus. This is where blackouts come from when you're drinking, because you've drunken so much alcohol that these frontal cortex centers of the brain are completely off. And actually, if you drink so much that you get back to the hippocampus parts of the brain, your your functioning has degraded so much that those hippocampus centers are offline. And so no new memories can be recorded. That's where we get the term blackout, because you're not going to remember anything that happens because the alcohol has progressed from the front of the brain to the back of the brain all the way to this point where no new memories can be made. You're operating totally from like the hindbrain and the brainstem. And that's where things get really kind of nasty. So I just thought this was a great way to kind of talk about this experience, to vlog my life a little bit, and to teach you about how your dreams and how your brain work so you can care for yourself a little bit more intentionally. Because your mind and your brain are incredible things. They're not against you. They may just be misunderstood, and they may just need you to take a little bit better care of them. So I hope that helps. Thanks for staying along for this vlog with me. Enjoy the footage, and I'm so excited to say it's back, returned in my hands, and the footage from Las Vegas will be uploaded soon, and I can't wait to share it with you. Whew. Thank the universe, thank God that it's all back in my hands. Thank you, all the wonderful people at Disney who just, I mean, this is an expensive camera. Someone could have very easily, a worker at Disney said, oh, there's easy money, I'll sell that shit on eBay, but they didn't. And you know, the world is a shitty place. But sometimes there's some good people out there who do the right things. And I don't know who found this camera, but thank you. If you did and you know, please reach out. I'd love to say thank you personally, maybe even like talk about it. It would be really cool. But thank you, all of you who do wonderful things and who do the right thing, even though maybe nobody would really notice. I appreciate you. Thank you for making the world a better place. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.